Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, buddy?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. We got the League of Outlaws IMCA-style modified division here tonight with kind of a special event. We're here at the LA Coliseum running the IMCA-style modifieds on the asphalt, 100-lap feature. $50 going to go to the winner here tonight. 6 drivers signed in for action. Something like we've never seen so far with the dirt cars on an asphalt track here tonight, Tim.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's going to be a tough track to get around. Well, track temp has actually cooled down. It was up in the 140-degree Fahrenheit area. It is now a cool, crisp 75 degrees.
All right.
Let's see how these drivers go and attack this track.
Absolutely. We are about to find out as we've got, hold on 1 second, I forgot to turn off radio. Let me do that real quick.
Through penalty.
Now we got that cleared off. Forgot to do that before we got started here tonight. But the starting lineup for our one and only heat race, it's going to be 12 laps. AJ Hunsinger, Tyler Bickford, row 1. Matt Pridge and James Murphy will be row 2. Row 3 will be Jared Murphy, Mason Setting. Interesting notes here tonight. These cars with this set will make it about 25 or so laps under green before the tire gives way on the right rear and it blows. If one of the drivers happens to bring out a yellow due to the fact of them blowing a tire, they will receive a pass-through penalty once we go back to green flag action. We are underway in Heat Race 1. AJ Hunsinger off to the early advantage through turn 1. Matt Pridge and James Murphy banging a little bit there in the middle of 1 and 2. Pridgeon still going to fight hard on the inside. James Murphy not giving him a whole lot of space, kind of pinched him through 3 and 4, and going to settle down in line right in front of Pridgeon. Pridgeon gives him the bumper, though, through 1 and 2, Tim.
Yeah, just letting James know, hey, I'm here, and I want that spot. James now taking it to AJ. He's going to be all over him. He looks to the inside. He's kind of there. He's there. He's going to be just close to even as they're going to go into turn 1 as James kind of slides it in.
Yeah, absolutely. James made kind of a slide pass. AJ's going to give him a little bit of the chrome horn as they get through 3 and 4. But James Murphy to the lead. Don't look now. Matt Pridgeon's right there. He might try to take a peek underneath Hunsinger. Setting in the 110 got loose out of turn 2.
Yeah. Oh, AJ got to the back bumper of James Murphy, our race leader here. He's trying to get the bump and run going. Maybe just helping him right there at 1 and 2 to launch off the corner with that bump. Pridgeon settles in third. We have a yellow flag.
Yellow flag being displayed. Not sure what for. Maybe for, was it setting in the 110?
Oh, it's because he drifted around 3 and 4 possibly.
Yeah, unsure whether iRacing thought that. Yeah, not sure. Kind of an odd yellow there.
A little bit of a controlled slide through 3 and 4, and the officiating crew did not appreciate it.
No, they did not. Now, these drivers don't have much to worry about here in the heat, as we're not going to run a full 25 laps under green flag conditions, so we don't have to worry about any tire issues. But the drivers do have sets of tires in the pit area for the feature. I think they'll have about 4 total sets. They'll be able to pit 3 times, roughly lap 25, lap 50, lap 75 here to make it to the end of the 100 laps. Pace car peels off. James Murphy in control into the restart area. Green flag back in the air. 6 down, 6 to go in our first and only heat of the night. Single file through 1 and 2. Matt Bridget in third, Jared Murphy fourth, Tyler Bickford fifth, Mason Setting in the 6th spot. Woo, AJ drove it down into 1 and actually makes contact with James Murphy and moves him up a little bit. More contact at the exit of 2. What happens in 3? Big time shunt from AJ Hunsinger to the back of James Murphy. He's letting him know he's there. He wants the top spot back, Tim.
Yeah, I think if he's got to wait either a little bit longer or he's got to be a little bit closer for him to for that move to actually work. Getting in, I think it actually helps James getting off the corner when AJ was trying to move him up the track.
2 to go at the line. James Murphy out to 0.6 of a second. AJ Hunsinger now getting pressure from behind from the 14 of Matt Pridgeon. Does Pridgeon try to make a move here on the white flag? 1 lap to go in heat 1. James Murphy nice and smooth down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Out of turn 4, James Murphy wins heat 1. AJ Hunsinger holds on for second. Third, Matt Pridgeon. Fourth to Jared Murphy. Fifth goes to Tyler Bickford, and crossing the line there in 6th is Mason Setting in the 110 machine. That was our only heat here tonight. 5 minutes go on the clock for our warm-up session. Drivers will head out onto the racetrack. I'm here to get some more practice laps in, I believe. We'll see if the admins decide to run the full 4.5 minutes now that's left in this warm-up session. While these drivers are getting some more practice laps in, we're going to step aside, get a word from our sponsor over at Premier Racing Setups. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back into the Buckeye Racing Network again. Thanks to our sponsors over at Premier Racing Setups. Don't forget to use code Buckeye15 for 15% off of an individual setup pack. Try Premier Racing Setups today. All right, pit strategy, tire management, all going to come into play for these 100 laps because these tires will not last. All things we're going to have to keep an eye on once we get the green flag in our feature. All right, starting lineup for our feature race. On row number 1 will be James Murphy and AJ Hunsinger. Row number 2 is going to be Matt Pridgeon and Jared Murphy. Row 3 is going to be Tyler Bickford and Mason Setting.
Well, Bentley, it'll be the first time in a long while I beat you to this question here. Who are you going to keep your eye on tonight?
Man, I tell you, the nuances of this track with these cars on the asphalt, I got to think tire management's going to play key. You got to play it cool, calm, and collected out here. I'm going to be keeping my eye on the 64 of Jared Murphy. Been quiet up to this point. Watched him in the warm-up session, taking care of his tires in that, practicing for the 100-lap feature coming up. That's who I got my eye on. How about you?
I'm going to go one row up from you, and I am going to pick that 33 machine of AJ Hunsinger. He looked quick. He looked hungry for a win. I think if he can just figure out that one little thing, I think he can get around James and sail off.
I like the pick.
Got a pit after 5.
Green flag is in the air. We're underway for 100 laps at the LA Coliseum with the IMCA style modified. James Murphy out to a great early advantage. AJ Hunsinger falls in line in the second spot. Jared Murphy quickly up 1 into the top 3. Lap 1 in the books. Single file throughout the field, back through Mason Setting there in the 6th spot in the 110. AJ Hunsinger starting to slowly chew away at that advantage there to James Murphy as he eats away a little bit at it. There, actually, the last time James was the quickest car on the track by just a touch, so keep an eye on those lap times as we continue to click them off and see the fall off once the tires start going away. About that 25 lap mark, we'll keep an eye on it. Jared Murphy losing touch with the top 2 just a little bit, but has a comfortable gap in front of him and now behind him. Matt Pridgeon is kind of settled into 4th spot, and we got a pass back here for the 5th spot. Mason Setting into P5. Tyler Bickford falls back to 6th in that 07 machine. Up front, Tim, battle starting to brew. AJ Hunsinger's closed in.
Yeah, AJ just going to give him the bump. He's going to try and move him out of the way. He's going to be to the inside of James. James looks like he's going to just let AJ go by. AJ's going to slide off the corner. They were telling Bentley the other day, as Bentley just now told me, that if you just bump the guy in front and he gets loose, they lose about 5% of the tire just by getting loose. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to hurt James Murphy for the rest of this run.
Absolutely. James Murphy's not letting AJ get away. He is right there. Might give him a little bit of the chrome worm himself. Does get AJ just a tad loose on the exit of turn 4. Oh, my goodness. Big bump from James Murphy to the back of AJ Hunsinger into turn 1. Look at Jared. He's closed right in. That actually has allowed about the rest of the field to close in as AJ's moved up the racetrack now. About a lane up off completely of the bottom. Now starting to finally hold steady running that line. Now he looks back a little bit lower through 3 and 4. And the rest of the field, Tim, from the mishap, closed right back up to the top 2.
Yeah, I think AJ's trying to carry a lot more speed on the entry. looks like it's hurting him, and it's allowed everyone else to kind of
Oh.
reel in everyone behind him.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, James is right there, making a little bit of contact, getting AJ just a little bit loose. About halfway through the tire run here on these tires. 12 complete, working lap 13 now. Look at the brake rotors starting to glow on the front end of Jared Murphy there in the 64. You can start to see the rotors glowing, getting hot. A couple of the other cars starting to show the same thing. Using a lot of brake here at the Coliseum to get these cars woed down and turned through the center of the corner for the run down the straightaways.
Oh, I was going to say, here comes James, but he blinked, and now he's back in the lead.
Oh!
As AJ tried to do a crossover, but Jared filled the gap quick.
Yeah, he absolutely did. James Murphy got back to the lead. Brother Jared now moves nicely into the second spot. AJ Hunsinger back to position number 3. Gotta wonder if maybe AJ's tires starting to hurt just a little bit as he's slowly falling off the pace. Definitely the fastest two is going to be James Murphy and Jared Murphy, our top two.
Now remember that they have the rule tonight. If you pop the tire, one of these tires, you will have a green flag drive-through here.
Yeah, absolutely. The driver's got to keep that in mind. If they start feeling like the tire's giving way, they got to get into the pit area and change those tires. Tell you, Jared Murphy's looking mighty fine, Tim. Been slow. Not really slow, but been nice and steady, saving those tires. He hasn't stepped that car out at all, and he is closed right up to the back bumper of his brother. Going to challenge for the lead.
Yeah, Jared, I don't know if it's the colors that he has on the car or setup-wise, but his car looks like it's more twisted than the rest of the field. It could just be the other colors.
Yeah, I think it probably might just be the colors on the car, because if I look more closely, all of them's got a little bit of that in the car currently. Closing in on the 25 lap mark, 23 complete this time. Starting lap 24, AJ Hunsinger. Past couple laps has been the quickest car on the racetrack as he's in the third spot trying to reel back in the top two. Making some really good lap time.
He's starting to use that the apron as the fellow competitors at the Clash used to do. Is they'd run up next to that wall and be extremely nice with that gas pedal on the exit. And Mason Setting looks like he's got a tire that's down.
Yeah, AJ Hunsinger's in the pit area. Setting is in the pits right now. I believe you're right, Tim, having a tire down. So two cars pitting, completing 26 laps. Let's see James Murphy, Jared Murphy peeling down into the pit area. Matt Bridgen's going to run an extra lap. 1 lap longer than the rest of the field. That's got to be some good news. Tyler Bickford also going to make it an extra lap. AJ Hunsinger heading out of the pit area. James Murphy stopping in his pit box. Does Matt Bridgen pit this time? He does. Tyler Bickford, he's going to make it another lap. All right, how about that? 28 laps complete on the original set of tires for Tyler Bickford here.
Oh, this is the race right here. James got off the pit road and he smacked the inside wall. AJ was able to flip one spot up.
Oh, I think Bickford might have hurt the tire. He got loose, but going to be down really low here. Probably going to look to get into the pit area, and he's going to turn it in now. The battle for the lead is right in front of the screen here. James Murphy, AJ Hunsinger. as Bickford finally pits. Made it the longest of everybody else, 30 laps. Great job for Bickford there, stretching out that tire run. Mason Setting now heading out of the pit area. Top three, James Murphy, AJ Hunsinger, Jared Murphy. Then Matt Pridgeon gonna go into the fourth spot. Bickford still in the pit lane in fifth. Mason Setting back into the pit area as well.
Oh, that's not good for Tyler Bickford.
What are you hearing over race radios?
It's just he's not moving.
Okay.
I would have thought that his pit stop would have been done by now, but it is not.
Uh-oh. AJ Hunsinger got into the wall down the front straightaway. Yeah, unfortunately, Bickford's now 2 laps down, still sitting in the pit area. Same with Mason Setting, only 4 cars on the racetrack, and your top 3 are practically a whole lap ahead of fourth. Bickford just now leaving the pit area, rejoining the racetrack in position number 5, but 4 laps behind.
Man, that sucks. I wonder if it was just required damage or something, but I think he had a great strategy call. It would have been one less stop than everyone else, I feel like. If he could have went the 30 as he did there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, strategy-wise, I like the call, being able to stretch it out, but unfortunately something happened there, and he was spent over a minute in the pit area, so has rejoined now. But 4 laps down. Look at Jared Murphy. He's going to start challenging his brother for the race lead.
Bridgen also must have had a problem on pit road. He lost touch to the top 3.
Yeah, absolutely, he did. Well, he stretched it a couple laps. Bridgen pit on 28. James and Jared on 27. AJ Hunsinger on 26. See Bridgen work by the 110 of Setting. Setting got that car up on the outside, trying to run it like a dirt track car, and he's really abusing that right rear tire.
Actually, it almost looked like he does have a tire that's down.
He just might.
It's not turning.
Yeah, he's currently scored 6th, 11 laps down. Already approaching pit stop number 2 for our leaders. Come around a complete 42 laps this time. James Murphy leads over a second over Jared Murphy. Jared Murphy is about 2.5 seconds in front of AJ Hunsinger, running third, and AJ Hunsinger's about 11 seconds ahead of Matt Pridgeon there in fourth. Is Pridgeon right in front of James Murphy, looking to hold on to the lead lap if he can. You're going to have to fend off James behind him to stay on the lead lap.
Man, I tell you what, I found an awesome camera. I don't know if you want to show it on the stream here, but the left front suspension camera on James Murphy, you can see the rotor just lighting up.
Oh my goodness, yeah, look at how hot the brakes are. On these cars, the brakes typically aren't used a ton, but I'll tell you what, look at that rotor. It is glowing red hot all the time on the left front of James Murphy. Big credit for the camera placement tonight on James Murphy's machine from Tim Henderson. Awesome shot of just how hot the brakes are getting around the LA Coliseum here tonight. You can even see it from high above, the left front rotor glowing orange on the 65 of James Murphy. James stretching his legs a little more, now up almost 1.5 seconds on Jared. AJ Hunsinger about 4.6 seconds behind James Murphy in the 65. Matt Pridgeon about 13.2 seconds behind James Murphy.
We're coming up on the next set of pit stops here shortly. AJ just said, came over the radio, he's down a tire.
Yeah, he is in the pit area right at the halfway point. Let's see, James Murphy going to be able to run another lap. Jared Murphy as well going to run another one. See what is Matt Pridgeon going to be able to run another lap? He is as well. We'll keep an eye on the leaders here as James is continuing to run laps. Jared Murphy.
Yeah, he's in the pits. I was thinking to myself, if I was James Murphy, I would have pit those last 2 times around as he finally does come down. He elects to take the pit stop now.
Yeah, James Murphy in the pits as the leader. Depending on what Matt Pridgeon decides to do here, is he able to run another lap? He is. That should turn the lead over to Matt. Yep, it does. Matt Pridgeon, the new race leader. It's going to be a battle, though. James coming out of the pits now. Brother Jared just coming down the front straightaway. James definitely has upped the advantage back to his brother Jared. There's AJ Hunsinger heading out of the pits as well. Hunsinger now scored 3 laps down after losing a tire. Matt Pridgeon, he's finally going to peel down to the pit lane here to get service. That should allow James Murphy to come around and collect the lead as he passes Matt this time. James Murphy back to the lead. Jared Murphy in second. He's got a couple lap cars in front of him. That's Bickford in the 07, Mason Setting in the 110.
You almost got to wonder what happened on the entry. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. There's Pridgeon. Pridgeon did lose a little bit of time on that cycle because Pridgeon now is a lap down in the 3rd spot behind James Murphy. Only 2 cars remain on the lead lap, and that is the Murphy brothers, and they are about 4.5 seconds apart on the racetrack. Tyler Bickford, AJ Hunsinger on the same lap, 3 laps behind the lead. Bickford ahead of Hunsinger by about 6 car lengths. Attrition definitely is setting in now, Tim, as we are past the halfway point.
Yeah, Tyler Bickford just came over the radio. He said that he's now electing to bet. But as we were saying, Jared Murphy lost a ton of time somewhere in the cycle, possibly on the entry or the exit, obviously.
Yeah, I
I think
believe.
it's going to be the entry.
I believe so because pit stop time, Jared's was actually less than James, but like you said, I think total pit lane time, like you said, Jared lost some time on entry, unfortunately, and he lost about 3 seconds. He's gaining a little bit back, now just about 3 seconds behind his brother James, but James probably just taking care of the equipment. Here as that advantage is down to about 3 seconds. Jared Murphy deciding to use up the good in those tires. He's closing in on the 14 of Matt Pridgeon. Matt Pridgeon currently in the 3rd spot, 1 lap down. AJ Hunsinger in 4th, 3 laps down. Tyler Bickford 5th, 5 laps down. And then Mason Setting in the 6th spot, 10 laps down.
Bickford looks to make the pass on Setting all the way around the outside. Completes the pass. Now looks to set his eyes on AJ, which is that for position?
Currently, no. AJ's 3 down, Bickford's 5 down, so 2 laps difference between those 2 cars at the moment. Gap has stabilized at 2.5 seconds between James Murphy and Jared Murphy. Jared Murphy kind of been stuck behind the 14, hasn't been able to make a move, so just kind of riding and following Matt Pridgeon in the 14. James Murphy just Worked past Mason setting there in the 110 to put him another lap down. 68 laps complete already. As James Murphy's coming up on the 33 of AJ Hunsinger to put him another lap down. Looks like James Murphy, Tim, starting to set kind of a torrid pace. Nobody's able to keep the pace of James Murphy without killing the right rear.
Yeah, if you're also James Murphy, you got plenty of room in between you and your brother, Jared. 2.8 seconds is the gap. That's like a 10 to 15 second lead at a mile and a half.
Yeah, AJ just kind of using the middle part of the racetrack, trying to conserve tire as best he can, but unfortunately well off the pace. Final pit stops of the race are coming up for the drivers. I would expect probably Jared Murphy, maybe AJ Hunsinger first. Hunsinger's been on the track since lap 50. It's now getting closer to that 25 lap margin.
Hunsinger had the, oh yeah, no, you're right. I thought he had a tire go down earlier, but you're right. He looks like he's lost a ton of grip in his tires as he's rolling, I guess, the third groove as around the track as he diamonds off. He does not pit this time.
I think AJ's just trying to survive and keep the tires under him. Already lost one right rear, not trying to do it again. James Murphy pit window is open. Setting slow on the inside. I believe must be another tire issue. He heads into the pit area. Jared Murphy still holding strong in the second spot now, 3.5 seconds behind his brother James. As James completes another lap.
Jared elects to pit this time by. Got through there really quick as James will now follow his brother in.
Absolutely. Jared Murphy now heading out. James working his way to his pit box. Setting also making his way out of the pit area. Matt Pridgeon should come by and does. Takes the race lead once again. Pridgeon out front. James Murphy's heading out of the pit area. Picks up the throttle. He's about 7.5 seconds behind Matt Pridgeon, but Pridgeon's going to have to stop again. He pit last on 55. He's right about that 25 lap cycle. Is he going to pit this time? No, going to decide to stay out. As we have 19 laps to go in this one. James Murphy crosses the line this time at 6.5 seconds behind Pridgeon. Jared Murphy at 9.9 seconds behind. Tyler Bickford in the pit area for service, currently in the 5th spot.
Well, with it being 17, 18 laps to go,
does Pridgeon try to stay out here and hold on to this? It's still a long ways as he's coming up on 30 laps in this cycle. Was he able to take care of the tires enough to make them last? Time will tell, but I don't believe he can make it 45 laps.
I know it's a stretch, but I mean, if he was taking care of those tires, you know, not having any slip on the right rear, I mean, he's also got a 5.5 second gap.
It is going to be about 3 seconds at the line.
Oh.
James is chewing away at it as Matt is trying to take care of the right rear.
We have 15. I wonder if he can just hold him off enough to where it'll make James use up his stuff. You just can't let James get to the inside of you. You got to make him pass you around the outside.
Matt is just holding on for dear life, I have to believe, as James is already closed into the rear, and he has to pit. Great effort, though, for Pridgeon trying to make something happen there as he heads into the pit area. That turns the race lead over to James Murphy in the 65. Puts A.J. Huntsinger down a lap to 4 down now. Brother Jared Murphy is about 4 seconds back.
Had some trouble getting into 3, Jared Murphy did.
Matt Pridgeon got his service. He's exiting the pit area now as well.
James Murphy coming up on that 110 machine in Mason setting. They got about a 1.5 second difference in lap time.
10 laps to go for James Murphy. Jared Murphy takes a peek to the inside of A.J. Hunsinger. Going to complete that pass. Jared comfortably now in position number 2. Across the line, 8 to go for James Murphy. I'll tell you what, this season, James Murphy has won all but one feature, I believe. Up to this point, this is race number 16 in the season. He has dominated here tonight except for the pit cycle laps. And he has gotten out front, not looked back, and just putting on an absolute clinic here at the Coliseum with cars that don't typically run here. But it's very interesting to see them look like asphalt cars as they work around here. And you can see from watching these guys, they can make them drive pretty straight without kicking out whatsoever. So interesting to see these drivers adapting to this car around this racetrack. Gap has stabilized between the Murphy brothers. About 4.3 seconds separate the two. Matt Pridgeon currently in the 3rd spot, a lap down. A.J. Hunsinger in the 4th spot, 4 laps down. Tyler Bickford 5th, 6 laps down. And Mason Setting 6th, 14 laps behind. As James Murphy closes in on A.J. Hunsinger, once again, Hunsinger leaves the bottom open. James makes his way by. Puts A.J. now down 5 laps. 2 to go for James Murphy as the car slides just a little bit through 1 and 2. White flag waving for James Murphy in the 65. One more time around. Out of turn number 4, James Murphy continues the domination streak and wins tonight at the LA Coliseum and takes home the $50 to win top prize. Jared Murphy crosses the line in position number 2, and Matt Pridgeon rounds out the podium in the 14 machine. A.J. Hunsinger is going to get credited with 4th. Tyler Bickford 5th, and Mason Setting in the 6th spot here tonight. Top 3, we're going to get to talk to them in just a couple of moments here as they stop on the front straightaway. Wow, what an event, Tim. Very interesting to see these drivers adapt to these cars on an asphalt racetrack.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I got a few questions I'd like to ask these drivers.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to kick off our interviews here tonight, starting with our 3rd place finisher. Hey, Matt, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right, man. First and foremost, great run. You know, you ran pretty much the longest of anybody on tire sets, it seemed like, and led some laps here during the pit cycles as they all cycled through. 3rd place has got to feel good on a car that's not designed to work on an asphalt racetrack, but tell us how you were able to adapt to driving around the Coliseum tonight.
Yeah, it's really tricky to get these cars to go around without burning your tires off. So I was just driving it like a baby. I mean, I could have pushed it a little bit harder, probably should have, but I was trying to outlast and see if I could make lesser pit stops and cut down my total race time. But obviously, Jared and James had my number on that. I think I screwed up a little bit in my first pit stop, and for some reason was taking fuel, and that took a few seconds. So I'm not sure if that's the cause of my being a lap down, or if it was just me trying to pace it pretty slow. But no, I'm pretty happy with that race there. It was it was pretty fun, a little different.
Absolutely, it certainly was, and neat to see for us up here in the booth. Tim, do you have anything?
Yeah, Matt, what was so difficult about saving the tire around this place? Was there anything that you think you could have done differently to help you out?
Like I said, the first pit stop, if I had known it was going to start dumping fuel in the car, I definitely would have cut that off. But as far as you know, the important thing was to save tires. Not to slide the car, because if you slide the car, that just takes so much out of the tires. I will say that last stint I did before the last time I pitted at the perfect timing because I had 4% left on my right rear. So yeah, that was the trick though, is trying not to get the car to slide, which was why I was trying to take it pretty easy. But obviously James and Jared did a better job at doing that.
Absolutely. Nonetheless, Matt, a fantastic run for you here tonight at the Coliseum. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting these races. I watched that race from last week. Man, that was a heck of a race and a great broadcast. I'd like to thank AJ for putting these races on. I hate the car count is what it is. It would have been fun tonight if we had 15, 20 cars, but this group of guys we got here, they're a good bunch. So shout out to the regulars that come week after week. I'd like to thank my buddy Talking Dirt with Ryan Williams on Facebook. He sponsors the virtual car and the real car, so can't thank him enough.
All right, Matt. Well, again, we appreciate you getting a word in with us here tonight. We'll let you celebrate your top three.
Thank you, sir. Hopefully, it's not too long before I get to talk to y'all again.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to it. All right, that was our third place finisher here tonight. Let's talk to our second place finisher. Hey, Jared, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. What an event tonight we experienced at the Coliseum. You and your brother were the class of the field. I watched you all night long. You took care of the car. You took care of the tires when it mattered. You made them last and ran a little bit longer than the 25 lap mark, and just kind of had to pick through a couple of cars there at the beginning to get to that second spot and never looked back. Tell us the nuances of driving this car on an asphalt track.
Um, keeping her straight. It's so easy to spin the tires, and every time you lose it and slide a little bit, that's 5 laps out the window. So I just kept her straight all night, kept it below the 20-mile-an-hour on the pit, so I wouldn't get a penalty like a couple people did, and kept her clean.
Absolutely. You did a great job of that here tonight. Tim, you got anything?
Yeah, what was the strategy for you going in tonight? Like pit wise, did you have any strategy? Were you working with James to make a strategy for tonight or anything like that?
Yeah, we hosted a bunch of practice races all week, and I absolutely sucked in all of them. So I was quite surprised when I ran second. I was just happy. Any couple laps past 25, and it started sliding a little bit. I just hit the pits, so it wasn't really a set strategy. It's just when I felt the tire giving up, I just go get a new one.
Absolutely. You guys did a fantastic job figuring this racetrack out and this car combo. Jared, do you have anybody to thank before I let you go?
I'd like to thank y'all for the awesome broadcast. Everybody with the League of Outlaws, AJ Hunsinger for my rap, and Talking Dirt.
All right. Again, big congratulations on the fantastic finish here tonight. Jared?
Thank y'all.
Absolutely. All right, without further ado, let's talk to our winner. Hey, James, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, the domination of this season continues. Coming home with another victory here in week 16. And not only that, something a little bit different than what you guys run week to week, having to figure out how to get these cars around an asphalt racetrack and a 100-lap feature. All of those combined still couldn't stop you as you were the class of the field here tonight, James. I tell you, you guys made the tires last even a little bit longer than that 25-lap mark and had a great pace doing it. What was it like here tonight around the LA Coliseum?
I just, it's hard to do asphalt. It kills your tires, and I actually had more tires than I really thought. Every time I pitted, I could have went probably another 15 laps before I absolutely had it to. But I seen everybody else pit, and the speed difference was crazy. So I just pitted when they pitted, and once I got to the lead, and I seen everybody, I heard two of them had a black flag early, and then Matt just messed up on pit road fuel, and so it was just basically me and Jared on the lead lap. There really wasn't no need to push it. I was really good at running consistent laps. I wasn't the fastest car, I don't think, but we was able to run consistent laps all the way through the tire run. That's what I think really helped us get on top.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys mastered it here tonight. Tim, do you have anything to ask James?
Yeah, you were certainly the quickest in terms of average lap time around here. So what was the goal, or where were you looking to make your car go to getting in, and where were you hitting on the brakes and all that stuff?
Just rolling into the brakes easy and back into the gas easy. It's not really a good set point. Just kind of go by feel and just try to hit the same point. But it's hard to do with these cars on here. Sometimes they act a little funny when you get on the brakes. So it's all about just keeping your car straight and up under you, and you can real easy kill your tires coming off here. It gets up on the bars and it just spins them. As long as you keep from doing that, tires really weren't that bad. Like I said, I was able to get lucky. I passed him in my heat race, and I thought I killed myself on that first restart. I smoked the wall coming out of pit road like an idiot, but we was able to hold on to it, and me and Jared was the only ones that lead laps, so that's awesome.
Absolutely. You guys were the class of the field tonight. Before we let you go, James, who do you need to thank?
Thank y'all for the broadcast. Everybody with the League of Outlaws, H.A. Hunsinger for the rap. I got a new sponsor, Third Party Gaming. They on cell panels, and Talking Dirt.
All right, James. Well, again, big congratulations on the victory here tonight at the Coliseum.
I appreciate it.
All right, that's going to conclude our interview portion of tonight's race. Closing thoughts from you, Tim.
Yeah, just an awesome event that was held. Super interesting the way that everything happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kudos to the League of Outlaws admins trying something different with these cars, putting them on an asphalt racetrack and seeing how things go, just trying something different. Love to see, the interesting combos. It was very interesting to watch, to see how the drivers chose to do their pit strategies and their lines and how they were going to save their tires and how long they could make it on a run with the tires. So a lot of nuances that came into play here tonight, not putting fuel in the car or pit road penalties from speeding. So a lot of other factors from their typical race, but I tell you, it was still a fantastic show. And again, congratulations to James Murphy winning here tonight. Upcoming for us on the Buckeye Racing Network, we won't be live till next Sunday night for race number 17 of the League of Outlaws season next Sunday, 9:15 Eastern time. So come on out, be a part of that with us. Got some other events coming up later this month with a couple other leagues, so just stay tuned. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you know each and every time we go live here on the Buckeye Racing Network. That's going to do it for us tonight, though, from the LA Coliseum. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night, everybody.